there are some dietary supplements that are absolutely valuable.
Meet Dr. William Li, a world-renowned Harvard-trained medical doctor, researcher, and a founder-president of the Angiogenesis Foundation. His work has led to more than 40 FDA-approved therapeutics and devices. In his best-selling books, Eat to Beat Disease and Eat to Beat Diet, he advocates eating whole foods for nutrition. Despite this emphasis, Dr. Li openly acknowledges incorporating 3 supplements into his own regimen. In this video, we delve into these supplements, unraveling the rationale behind their inclusion. Additionally, Dr. Li sheds light on the natural food sources that can provide similar nutritional benefits.
Supplements can be really important, particularly for people who have difficulty getting a lot of some nutrients or their food.
The first supplement that Dr. William Li regularly takes is vitamin D.
I do take vitamin D supplements. Vitamin D, very important. Good for your immune system. It's cancer fighting. Many people are not outdoors as much, wind up actually not getting enough sunshine. People in the northern hemisphere, for example, or people who are in the northeast, northern climates, colder climates, wearing clothing a lot of the year, like shirts and long sleeves. Vitamin D is good for you. Can you build your immunity? And we found, by the way, during the pandemic that people who got sick faster earlier on in the beginning of the pandemic, many of them were short on their vitamin D.
Of vitamin D, there are D2 and D3. Let's quickly understand about vitamin D. Vitamin D is a micronutrient that is important for human health. One of the primary roles of vitamin D is calcium and phosphorus absorption, which are essential for bone mineralization and density. Along with calcium, vitamin D helps keep your bones strong and prevents osteoporosis. Vitamin D2, or ergocalciferol, is found in fungi, mushrooms, and yeasts. Vitamin D2 is produced by exposing a yeast called ergosterol to ultraviolet, UV, radiation. Foods fortified with vitamin D, such as plant-based milk, cereal, and orange juice, contain vitamin D2. Vitamin D3, or cholecalciferol, is produced by the body when the skin is exposed to sunlight. It is also found in several animal-based food sources, such as fatty fish, salmon, trout, mackerel, egg yolks, and beef liver. Also, after you spend time in the sun, your body converts sunlight into vitamin D3. So now let's go back to Dr. William Li's further explanation on the importance of vitamin D3.
Vitamin D3, for those of us who live in the northern hemisphere where we don't have as much sun all the time, all year round, and where it's cold, so we're indoors a lot and not always outdoors under the sunshine. So I'm not talking Costa del Sol, I'm not talking about South Africa, or Australia. I'm talking about, England, Northern Europe, North America, and sort of the northeastern side. Okay. We don't get as much sunlight. And even if we do go outside, because it's cold, we wear a lot of clothes. And so our skin tends to be covered up. And so vitamin D is made by our skin when sunlight actually hits it. And so we tend to be vitamin D deficient. So here's an example of where you can eat foods like mushrooms that can have vitamin D, for example. By the way, I don't know if this is a tidbit for you. I just told you that human skin with ultraviolet radiation from the sun will make more vitamin D. But did you know that if you took just a plain old lowly white button mushroom that contains some vitamin D, if you were to, before you eat it, when you buy it, if you slice it pretty thinly, and you lay the slices out and you put it in your windowsill, so the sun shines on the slice, it will make more vitamin D. You actually convert more vitamin D into the mushroom. So if you're going to prepare something with mushrooms, slice them ahead of time. Stick them in front of a sunny window, no matter what time of the year it is, maybe a couple hours before you cook with it, and the mushrooms will actually give you more vitamin D. But it's a lot easier to get your regular dose of daily vitamin D by actually just having D3 supplements. And so that's an example.
The second supplement that Dr. William Li regularly takes is omega-3.
I take omega-3 supplements. The omega-3s, I actually enjoy seafood. But for me, getting omega-3 supplements helps me top off on that, and without having the mercury and heavy metals from seafood.
I think omega-3 fatty acids are a great supplement if you get a high quality omega-3. Not everybody eats oily fish, day in, 2 to 3 times a week. You only need to eat the amount in each serving with the size of a deck of playing cards. So you don't need to eat very much. But, that's not something most people do. People who live on the coastline, they might be doing it, but many people don't. So omega-3s are so important to our health. I mean, this has been shown time and time and again. That's a supplement that's that's definitely worth taking. And it's a lot easier to swallow omega-3s than it is actually to go to your fishmonger and then to look at what the catch of the day is.
Turns out that omega-3 fatty acids are actually originally plant-based. They come from plankton in the sea. And it's the fish that eat the plants that then the bigger fish eat the bigger fish, the smaller fish, that actually builds up the omega-3s in their flesh. If you eat a fish oil supplement, omega-3 supplement, you actually just get the whole deal, shebang, that you can to top off. Now, there was a study that was published last year that was a real eye-opener, looking at blood levels of omega-3s, because you can find a fingerprint of how much omega-3 is in your blood, in your red blood cell. And it was a study of like several thousand people, and they found that those people who had the highest levels of omega-3 fatty acids lived longer, about 5 years longer, compared to people who had low levels of omega-3s. Now, in those cases, the omega-3s are mostly coming from eating fish. But here's the crazy thing. That improvement of 5 year survival by just having omega-3 fatty acids was cited in this study as equivalent to the benefit of a smoker quitting smoking. So if you're a heavy smoker and you quit smoking, you'll gain 5 years of life almost immediately if you quit. All right. And here's the thing where you can eat something and gain benefit in life as well. If you want to get omega-3s and you want something really tasty and you want to make it super convenient and not very expensive, people might laugh at this, but I will go and buy a tin of fish, like tinned fish in the middle aisles. Not the stuff that looks like cat food. But actually, in Europe, they have these beautiful thin tins of fish that have piquillo peppers and olive oil and garlic and lemon and herbs. It's a great way to, it's a couple of bucks for a tin. You pop it open. It's already cooked, steamed, flavored, and literally you can eat it right out of the can, and you get this amazing burst of protein, burst of flavor, and you get the omega-3s. And because when they're packed in olive oil, you also get the benefits of the bioactives in olive oil, which is a healthy fat like hydroxytyrosol, which is anti-inflammatory, good for your gut microbiome, and it actually helps your metabolism as well.
The third supplement that Dr. William Li regularly takes is probiotics.
I take some probiotics, but I am very conscious of the fact that, there's some probiotics that are not just good for your lower gut, the cecum I told you about, but even your mouth. So there's a bacteria called Lactobacillus reuteri. Same bacteria, by the way, in sourdough bread. Used to make sourdough bread. Also found in Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. The original stuff they use in Italy. They use that to actually start the cheese. Turns out that bacteria in your mouth, so I get a chewable, actually kills the bacteria in your oral mouth microbiome that causes cavities. Clinical trials have been done to show that you can actually lower the rate of cavities and better gum health by having Lactobacillus reuteri. So that's one of the probiotics, for example, that I take. Those are 3 of the supplements that I take. I don't like a big pile of pills in front of me.
Now let's listen to the final remark on supplements from Dr. William Li.
There are some dietary supplements that are absolutely valuable, some that research has actually proven to be helpful, and some that can be life-saving as well. Pregnant moms really need to be taking folate. If you don't have those, you'll have neural tube defects in your babies. The risks go much higher. So you really want to be able to actually take the evidence. Supplements are the real deal because they were originally designed to help the body top off with what it actually needs. But if you have a choice of getting it from the whole food will tend to have a lot of other stuff that's good for you. If you eat whole plant-based foods, for example, you get the fiber, you get the polyphenols, you get a lot of other chemical substances, you get the natural peptides that are found in foods. That if you got a pure supplement, you might get the 1 molecule or 2 molecules that it's been created for, like a vitamin C supplement. If you want to top off your vitamin C, it's pure vitamin C. You're going to get a lot of it if you take a vitamin. But if you had citrus, you're going to get all that flavor. You're going to get a different kind of flavor. You get some. You do get sugar. You get fiber. You get the limonene and all these other hesperidin, all these other bioactives that you can't get from a regular supplement alone.